That's unbelievable, buddy. You should get a pilot watch because you live close to the airport. I'm hearing planes by my house. So 3 weeks ago, I bought from Houston, Texas, I bought a Citizen ProMaster Tough chronograph with big Breitling style Arabic numerals. Super tough steel. It's supposed to be 5 times tougher than normal stainless steel. Sapphire, super luminova. The price was good, $249. 3 weeks ago. Should have had it like a couple weeks ago. And it finally showed up on the tracking. It landed in LA, so I should have it in a day or two. And I'll tell you what, I'm kind of relieved because it went dark on the tracking for a while. They couldn't find it. I thought it was lost. And I had a flashback to 1969 when, as a 7-year-old kid, I sent in 10 bazooka bubblegum wrappers and 50 cents for a toy submarine. And I waited and I waited and I waited. And it never came, man. I sent him a letter. It never came, and I was having a flashback to those days. Look at my heart. It's still bleeding from the scar of never getting that submarine. It's still bleeding from the scar. And you know, people tell me all the time, McMahon, you need to let go. You need to let go of the pain. You can't hold on to a missing submarine from 1969, man. I don't want to let go. I enjoy holding on. I don't know. It's not healthy, but that's how I'm hardwired. I don't like it. So so I'm getting this Citizen ProMaster Tough chronograph. I look forward to reviewing it here. Now, yesterday, a viewer told me that, like me, he really likes the look of this Citizen ProMaster Tough chronograph. And he told me he actually saw one in person and he was disappointed, not with the look of it or the quality of it, but he did say something that bummed me out. He said that the diver bezel doesn't rotate, and that is a huge punch to my face because it's phony. Don't put what looks like a diver bezel on a watch and then make it fixed, because that's like the phoniest thing you could do. Is it going to ruin my buzz? A little bit, frankly, but I didn't spend much money on it. I have a feeling I'm going to like it anyway, especially at that price point. I just, you know, it's not a diver watch anymore. Hey, I got a lot of delicious diver watches. I've got a, look at this Seiko SBDC 051. It's fine. I'm going to be okay. I mean, I'm just going to look at this ProMaster Tough. It's like having a G-Shock. It's going to be a good grab and go. So here's what I want to talk about today. Random Rob, he had a Are You Getting Burned Out on the Watch Hobby video that he uploaded on September 15. An excellent video. I urge you to see it, and I'll put a link on it. And I had 5 takeaways from this, and he said some really important things. And here's number 1. He said, don't buy watches that replicate what I'm doing here. You'd have way too many watches. He said, look, man, what I'm doing here, this is not reality. He said, this is an experiment. That is so true. I mean, a lot of the watches that he's reviewing are sent in from other viewers or maybe from a micro company or something. He's just got watches coming in. You can't buy and sell and flip at that acceleration because what he's doing is not reality. It's a platform for watch reviews, and so you need to separate what you're doing with your watch hobby, unless you're presenting a channel like Random Rob. There's no way that my channel has this flux of watches like Rob or Bruce Williams. There's just no way. I mean, I'm going crazy enough with the flux that I have. And so that's an excellent point. Point 2. I love this. He says, don't get into FOMO, the fear of missing out. Don't let anxieties about what other people are doing affect your watch collecting. And you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of high school. When we were in high school, there was always this girl, let's just call her Olivia. Olivia, she looked all right, but we didn't care about her. We didn't pay one scintilla of attention to her. One iota, one scintilla. Boom. Didn't care about her. We ignored her. She was not on our radar screen. Olivia, goodbye. And then Jimmy. Jimmy, you know, the quarterback, star quarterback of our football team, team captain. Jimmy, for whatever reason, falls in love with Olivia, and boom! Every dude in high school is now in love with Olivia. Because Jimmy did it. Because we're so pathetic as human beings. We need the validation of Jimmy or whomever to establish what we're going after in life. That's so pathetic. Great point, Rob. I appreciate it. I'll call it the Olivia effect. And so, we're hunting after all the Olivias of the world just because of some other person. That's horrible. And this brings me to Rob's next point. He says, you get caught up in the hunt, and you get so caught up in the hunt, and now these are my words here, you get too caught up in the trees and you lose sight of the forest. You're going to get that adrenaline buzz for the hunt, but the adrenaline's going to wear off. Be careful. And Rob said a fourth point that I think is very important. He said, look, man, try you don't have to eliminate your watch hobby, because you just have to moderate it, because if you were to try to stop it, he says, you just replace it with something else. Rob said that we all have this empty void in us, and we're going to fill it with some hobby or other. If it's not watching, something else. That may be the darkest thing I've ever heard Rob say. I mean, are we all hungry zombies who need to be fed regularly? McMahon, don't put words in Rob's mouth. He never went down that road. You're projecting your own dark, pessimistic worldview. Don't do it. All right, I apologize. But I think Rob was saying that if we don't have one hobby, it's going to be something else. Finally, I think his overall point is, when it comes to your watch hobby, if you don't want to get burned out, try to focus on being true to yourself and not dealing with other people's tastes and desires. And I'm trying to apply that to my own life. I'm going to tell you guys something. I have 4 automatic watches. I don't want to buy any more. I doubt I'll sell the ones that I have. I mean, I like them. I don't think I could find non-automatic styles. I like the dome sapphire on this. I can't find. But I have 4. I sold a 5th one that I had, not because I liked it, but it was the crown. I didn't like the way the crown moved. It gave me anxiety, so I got rid of, I had a huge, beautiful M-Force, man. It was mint condition. The person got a great deal on it. It had a brand new 23 millimeter super engineer on it, but I wasn't happy with the crown movement. It just wasn't for me. But I mean, maybe that's what you get at that price point. So that's in play, but I'm only interested in precision instruments now. I don't like fussing with automatics anymore. That's just who I am. I don't fall in love with watches that cost $3K or $4K or $5K. I just don't. It's at that price point. It doesn't make sense to me. And that's just me. And I know people are offended unless I buy a Rolex. I understand that. Or something of that nature. I can't fall in love with it. I actually have a wish list right now of about 5 watches that are on my radar. I can't help it, and I've got 8 now. So, I mean, I would not want to have 12 or 13 watches, honestly. You know what I'd like to do in about 2.5 years or so? I'll be 60 years old. I'd like to just give all my watches away and just keep my 2 favorite watches. I don't want to be like Gollum, opening up a watch box full of a dozen watches and going, my precious. Don't want to be that dude. I'm thinking maybe in my early 60s, maybe at 65, I'll just give away all my watches, keep my favorite 2. I mean, come on, man. You're in your 60s, 2 watches is enough, man. I want to be true to myself. I take Rob's words to heart, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you think. Can you see the blood that came back from that flashback? All because of a bubblegum toy submarine snafu, man. Can you see it? I'm really upset, man. All right, tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, I'm out.